If you had the opportunity to live in a children's wonderland, would you choose anywhere else? We don't just say, we do. It's the Stain City way.
Hello and welcome to Real Talk with Anele right here on SABC3 where the stage is yours. Today on the show we have a sensational gospel musician who won the hearts of South Africans with her fifth album, Restored, that went double platinum in less than 6 months. She was nominated in the Female Artist of the Year, the Best Contemporary Faith Music Album categories at the 2017 Salmas. She's also received nods for the Best Female Artist, Best Urban Gospel categories at the Metro FM Music Awards and went head-to-head against gospel greats like the late Sfiso Ngwane, Dumi Mkokstad and Anele Majola at the Crown Gospel Music Awards. Her name is Lebo Sekgobela, and before we chat to her, let's get a snippet of the song that is going across the country, making everyone crazy.
We worship you, we worship Lion of Judah. You are holy, Lion of Judah. We bless your name and we worship you, Lord. Lion of Judah. You are holy.
What do you mean? Listen, every taxi, every bus, every car, just everyone has been playing this song.
Every house.
Every household.
Really.
And here's the thing, Barry, when your song plays in a tavern and it plays in the church, it means you've officially made it.
Am I allowed to laugh about this?
Yes.
Like spiritually laugh about it?
We can we and the entire country, we can spiritually laugh about it. I went onto YouTube and the song has got 3 million views. One of the songs.
Yeah. Okay, I'd like to greet everybody who's watching now. Like, you know, the Real Talk show ever in Mzansi. I think almost around the continent at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah.
And we're all gathered here.
Yes, and sitting with the one and only.
Flame.
It is an honor.
This is your 5th album, right?
Yes. Yes.
How do you not lose faith through 4 albums that don't take off like this one has?
Wow. I think, you know, just trusting in the Lord. The Bible in the book of Proverbs said that trust in the Lord and lean not on your own understanding. Because if you lean on your own understanding, you will think that so figile, you have arrived. But with God, you know, some of the things you need to be patiently waiting until it's the right time.
But when it comes to gospel in South Africa, actually when it comes to gospel across the world, I mean, from the outside, we believe that you do a gospel song, it will sell. You do a gospel album, it will sell. You'll fill out stadiums, you'll fill out churches. Just do gospel and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So when you are doing gospel and you are not filling out those stadiums, you know?
I don't think it's that. I think that's the mentality that we have as everybody, that you do this and you think that it's fine. You know, this is the right thing. It's like somebody cleaning your house. If they clean the house, they need to make sure that they remove things so that they may sweep under. You know, like you remove that so that you clean the space. You don't say only because people, they look at the front, they're not going to see the back, so I cannot do the back. So that's how we need to do it also with our lives. We clean what is inside. We allow God to renew and restore what is inside so that when it comes out, people can receive it well. People can say, ooh, I've seen God in that. You know, it's like you sing an ordinary song, everybody would sing that, you know. But when you understand what Tiqobawo has done in your life, it's a different story.
And the church said, amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah. But I mean, you wanted to be a chartered accountant?
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to be that, but, you know, my family could not afford for me to be there, you know, because, I mean, when you grew up, you knew that your mother, and my mom was a domestic worker. So from that, you could see that, you know, finally, I am 17, she needs to go to work. And then when she comes back, she would come, you know, like the last night bread that other kids did not eat. So mommy has to come with that, so that you guys can eat out of that. But what matters the most is that what you look at what the Lord has done. The same bread that was, you know, stale to others, it was feeding you. It's a meal to you, and it has made you who you are. You can stand strong and say, I can stand against all odds because I know that, you know, like Job, and speak like him and say, I know that my Redeemer liveth. Even if people can say, you know what, curse this God of yours because he's not doing anything. And if you see that, and the nicest thing is that when we have achieved that, or when you know what God can do, I mean, I can still say to myself, I can still take myself to school now and be that
Chartered
I wanted
accountant
to be.
that you wanted to be.
But I mean, I've seen greener pastures. I've seen what God can do, you know.
Look, when I saw you on stage at the Summers, I even tweeted, I was like, guys, who just performed now? That person has got a voice on her. And so I don't think the books are for you. Maybe you can do your own books.
Yeah, no,
so that they don't steal your money.
Exactly. I think I
you
need
know,
to.
but I please don't go into an office. You are number 5 out of 6 kids.
Yeah.
Did you grow up feeling, you know, because number 5, you're almost a latlameki, but you're not.
Yeah,
Are you are not a middle child? You're not the firstborn. Did you feel invisible as a child?
Some people, they did not feel like they want to have you or something. But I'm glad that I overtook some of the people who were supposed to be coming, you know, to be number 5s. But they died on the road somewhere in the happenings or in the makings. So I just popped out and I became, you know, that child who was born. And I'm grateful to my mom and my dad, you know. And speaking of my dad, we're laying him on this Saturday. He has passed. But one thing about those 2 people that I'm grateful for is that they met where they met. And out of their loins, God has put a gift, which is me.
6 of you,
Yeah.
do you all sing? Are you the only one who's got a good voice? Are you like the Jackson 6, the Jackson 5? Yeah, can we look forward to
My mom can sing. My mom, she's that person who, when she sings, everybody has to, the right English is like everybody has to shut up.
Okay.
Yeah, so my mom is like, you know, those women, even if she's not angry and she's speaking, like you'll feel like, yeah, so it's that person. So my younger sister, the one who comes after me, she thinks that she knows how to sing. Like, it's those, you know, shower people. The ones, like, when the water is, like, flowing and dripping down.
And there's the noise from the shower.
And the noise from
and
the
toilet
shower.
has just been flushed.
Exactly. And you stand there and you start opening your mouth, but you think that, you know, it's like that type. But one thing about singing, it's not only about a beautiful gift. It's about the worship that is in you. So even if you don't have, you know, that stage voice, you have the shower one. As long as you tell God how you feel, you're still okay.
But I mean, surely somebody had to tell you that,
Yeah.
Mara Lebo, Wapina, you've got a good voice. Who was that person?
You know, I went to auditions. I was like literally
Auditions?
reminding myself that I did the Coca-Cola Pop Star auditions. I did.
The one that gave us Jamali.
Okay, wait. I went and did Joyous Celebration auditions. I went and did Umoja auditions. Like, I did that, and not even getting tired, because I felt like I had a gift in me and I wanted to share it with the world. But like, in all these places when you go, they would like, please go and get a job. You know what? You don't have the best voice. You know, I remember people saying, you don't have the voice. Because with me, and something about us, or you know, as women, sometimes we feel undermined, because when somebody speaks something, you think that's the right thing.
Yeah, you think it's
then
the
you
gospel.
start to take it. Yeah, because I thought, okay, my voice is like a man's voice. You know, it's like when I speak, it's different, but when I sing, it's like, you know, that person in you just wants to come out and show his love and show how much peace he can give you. You know, like now it's all about God. You laying your life before him, and you saying, God, take over. And now that voice becomes something. You know, the same voice that I undermined and thought, you know, now.
But I mean, Coca-Cola Pop Stars says no. Joyous Celebration, Budlindelani, now what you know. And here she is. Do join us after the break when Lebo tells us about her journey into gospel music after all the rejection. Come back to us. And this is Real Talk with Anele. Today we're talking gospel with the renowned Lebo Sekgobela of the Lion of Judah fame. On Twitter at Vio16 says, my son says it's lemon of sugar. And then at PM Chwani says, thank you so much for bringing Lebo in studio. Believe me when I tell you that the song is even bigger than anything that we've experienced. When you recorded it, did you feel that, okay, I want to hear God is walking with me every step of the way?
Wow. I mean, when I did the song, I heard it from a friend of mine, Matthews, you know, and when I listened to the song, like he was singing it, and I was like, yo, there's something about the song, you know? And I was like, I'm doing a DVD, you know, I'd like to do the song with you. Okay, it could not make it. But when we did the song, it was like, you know, one of those songs that you just put them because they were on the queue, but not like children. You know, children you plan. So it's not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like those kids who are on the queue, but that very same child, he's like that child who went to university,
became a rocket scientist, and an astronaut, and then built 3 houses around the world. And then you're like,
and so yeah, but I mean, with the song Nami, I've seen God, and I've been ministered to in an amazing way. You know, like when you were playing the song earlier, you know, the words that speaks out of that song, it's a Shona language, and when you say Mamur Ndawana Zoro, you like, you know, literally telling God that in you I found my rest. So I'm now in my resting place, you know. Mamure andina kucha, in you I have no fear. Mama papiro en you, under your wings I am safe. So like now we're safe because we're in God.
So when you were singing backup, like for Ulundi as well as Vicky, did you, at the back of your mind, did you know that you are moving closer and closer to the front, you know? Or were you just happy to be singing with them?
Sure. I did not know, but something that I've learned is the power of serving.
Okay.
So when you serve, you can be a master.
Okay. So okay.
So when you serve, you can be, what I'm trying to say is that if I am working for you and you are a farmer,
yes,
and you have a vineyard, and I'm the one who's planting the seed, and when you just come to check them out, I know the secret of how I've planted the seed and when they're gonna grow.
So one day when I own my own farm,
so one day when I own my own
I will
farm,
know when you're not planting the seed properly.
I would know how to plant and when you are not planting properly, and God will also show you the right season of planting. So the power of serving is very important, because some people, they don't want to serve. So you just want to come out there and outshine. You know, if you are working and somebody says to me, you know, clean my house like this, you think, this one, but you know, they're helping you because now you're going to get married to somebody else, you know, and now the house needs to be spotted. So you need to make sure that now you know how to
But what was the adjustment in yourself, just in your being, from moving from being a backup singer to becoming like a lead vocalist?
It was learning out of them. All of them, I've learned something, you know, from them. Sis Vicky, you know, her voice, how she carries herself, you know. It's not too many scandals that you hear about certain people that we have worked with. So life, how you carry yourself, especially in life, you know, there are things that you don't do. There are things that you do on stage, you know, other things that would know. Ulundi had his problems, so he would do that. But you learn also from that. Can I do this? Can I not do this? You know, and, you know, so from then you learn. And you know, okay, until God has says this is the right time and the right season, then I will then tap into my anointing.
But is there a pressure in being a gospel artist, because you have to be well behaved, you have to be holy?
No.
So you don't find pressure?
There's no pressure, because the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world. And the other thing is that when you are a child of God and singing music, gospel music. It's a lifestyle. It's not something that you need to do it because you feel like, today I feel like I'm happy, I want to sing a gospel song.
Okay.
But it needs to be a lifestyle. You need to make sure that you study the word. You pray about it. Pray that God, I'm going to sing at a certain place. I'm singing for somebody who's going through a lot. Can you help me through the song that you lay in my heart, that song speaks to that person? And you find ourselves singing, and then somebody would say to you, you know what, after singing that song, I felt, that warmth. I felt like everything is okay. I felt like I can tell my children that I love them. So those things, they're the fruits of the labor that you've put in. So that prayer that you have done in your own closet, not doing it for people to see, not for people to know that, okay, this one can pray, this one can cry, this one can do this. But what you do in your secret place, it would show up in the open space where everybody's there. And in the public, people will see God through you.
Are you like a rock star at church now? Like when you walk into church, everyone is like, now Lebo, now Lebo, now Lebo, now Lebo.
I think I was asking you the very same question that, people who have sit in this chair, like I feel there's so much anointing, where I'm seated right now. But I pray to God that this anointing must not change me.
Okay.
I must stay as humbled and the person that God created me to be. Because, the love that we show to others and the serving that we do, that if somebody old is standing and when you get up and allow them to sit, if you it's not going to kill you. Take a cloth and wipe, and allow somebody to sit on a clean chair.
But now, if I was in your church, right, and we had to sing a hymn, I'd wait for you to sing it. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't the church, like, when we are singing hymn number 23, we all look at Lebo. I need to win rockstar. You are the one who was at the summers, my girl.
Babe.
Don't you find that people are like,
no,
listening to you more?
But we can still be invited to the same wedding, and there's nothing wrong. We like, you know what? It's okay. It's okay just to be a child. It's okay to be a child, and it's okay not to be a rock star.
Ne?
Yeah, it's okay. Because if you were a rock star, some of the things you would not laugh to them. Somebody would ask you, what should you think about that Twitter or that Instagram, what, and then you would be like, no, just laugh about it. It's okay.
I like that you look like you're still yourself. Are you working on another album now, or are we still riding the wave of Lion of Judah?
I'm embarking on a tour. I've been on a national tour. I did East London. I'm going to Pretoria now because people are asking me, Lebo, we want to see you. So I'm embarking on a tour where I see people who have bought my album that I have never even seen with my eyes, But I know that when you get to a store, people have purchased my album. People are sending messages of love. People are telling you how great you are. They're praying for you. They're wishing you well. So I want to go, the whole tour is for me to go to them and minister with them together, and allow this energy to be transferred also to them.
So when you say minister with them together, and I asked Mom Rebecca this, and she said, no, would you ever become a pastor?
No, thank you.
Open your own church?
No, man. No. I think that is what that's what I know. That me and God, we have agreed. We have agreed.
That when you are here to sing.
I am serving him through the gift of song that he has given me. Somehow you still preach because some of the messages that you do with your song. But ukuma epulpiti mtasakaya and start no, thank you.
But you did preach today. What I'll take from this conversation is if you cannot be a server, you can't be a master. I think that is very important. Lebo, thank you so much for coming to us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Rockstar, after the break, we have another soul and gospel singer with vocals as silky and husky as they are praiseworthy. Remember that you must enter our weekly competition using the details on the screen. The winner will be announced tomorrow, and it could be you. Hey, the Holy Spirit is on your side. And welcome back to the show. Right now, we are joined by another Sama-nominated powerhouse who started off in a gospel group, Joyous Celebration. You've heard about them, right? Humble beginnings in Mlazi's, where she started in KZN. She honed her talents as a backing vocalist for musical giants such as Huma Sikela, Sibongile Khumalo, Judith Sipuma, Lira, Thandiswa Mazwai, and Jonas Gwanga before she accepted her calling as a bona fide artist, which saw her releasing her first album, Inspired, in 2013. She has since released a sophomore album that has switched up a bit. We've got jazzy vocals now. There's some Afro soul coming through as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me in welcoming. Apparently we look alike. Brenda Mtambo. You tell them people say we look alike.
Like I get it all the time. Are you and Anele, related? You say, yeah, Tembisa, song nje sabanda hoke.
See one. You must tell them I can also sing.
Yes, I will.
Can't, but sometimes you must just go with it.
It's around the family.
I want to go to Mlazi, right?
Yeah.
Are you that person who grows up when you are cleaning, when you're freshing the stoop? Are you singing the whole time?
I'm the annoying one.
And you guys are
I'm that
annoying.
one. The one that sings very loud. In the morning, we're like, oh, sindo. I'm that one. Like, I grew up like just singing everywhere. I still do that even now when I'm walking in the mall. You'll find me like, I just love to sing.
So just because you get paid for it now, you don't care that there's no one paying, you're just gonna sing?
I think it's something that is just within me, it just calms me down. It does something to my soul, when I feel like, when I'm feeling down, I can just sing a song and I sing it to myself.
For yourself?
For myself. If you get entertained, well, enjoy.
That's on the house then. That's on the house. So you were also quite a bit of an achiever in school, always in the top 10 academically.
Yes.
So when your parents and when your family was aware that you want to go the musical route, wasn't it a bit disappointing for them because you are academically strong?
I think because of how I grew up at home, they didn't really pay much attention as to what I was doing. At home I'm raised by Ugogo. My mom was not there. So I think I was pushing myself. So I was that kind of person who was pushing myself. I just wanted to be educated. I wanted to go to school, because I grew up poor. So I was like, I don't want to be, I want to study. Okay. I want to be educated. So I had that thing. And at school, unlike other kids, bengenayo isn't that they had. So I needed to be, bengfuna excel. I wanted to excel. So I knew that I'll pass definitely.
Okay, so you said you grew up poor, so you wanted things. So you were aware that there were certain things that you were lacking because of your financial constraints?
It was. Example, when I was in high school, I think I was the only child without a uniform at school. So I had to be loaned a uniform. I had to, get those, so I knew, I knew that I was different. I could tell that, okay, everyone is wearing this color. If I get this black and white uniform, why? But I couldn't afford, to have those kind of things. So I was quite aware of my surroundings. I was quite aware of what was happening around me, at home.
So you also wanted to be an accountant?
I did, and I went and started to become accounting.
Yes, yeah. I understand that. And then you were working in administration as well.
As the junior accountant, I came to Joburg. Let me tell you what happened.
Tell us.
I came to Joburg to be part of Joyous Celebration. And then I was part of Joyous Celebration, but I was finishing my studies, because as I said, being something, even if just a certificate or something. So after like a year or two, I got tired of singing. I was like, you know what, Mina, I had a dream anyway of being, this educated woman, businesswoman. Let me pursue that. And then I resigned from Joyous. Like, thank you guys for everything, I'm gone. Then I left, and then I was hired. And then I was working for like a good year.
What called you back?
Because I was not happy. Because it was not something that I feel like I was destined to do. Your dream, now not that I'm older, I know that your dream will push you. You'll be annoyed where you are. At the office, I used to make noise. I didn't enjoy waking up in the morning, going to the office. I was writing songs when I'm supposed to
debit credit songs.
But songs, I was writing songs, and I could tell that this is not the life that I want to live for the rest of my life. So I had to change my life. I had to say, okay, what is it that I want with my life? What is it that will make me happy? And I was like, boom, it's music.
You were in a music group, and then you guys decided as a collective to audition for Joyous Celebration. Yes. Did you audition for Babli Nali Mkhize?
For everybody. It was me and my other two friends. We were a group of girls. Then we went there like Beyonce, Michelle, and Kelly.
You were Beyonce?
Of course. We went there and they were blown away. I have a deeper voice than the rest.
Yeah.
So they were taken. You know, like, okay, come back tomorrow for a second callback. Then we came back and then they took us. And I was only 19 then. We were very young.
So they took all of you guys?
All three of us.
That's beautiful because you don't
Yeah.
want to leave a soldier behind.
I think men, this is vocal. I think they were 9.
Yeah.
They were 9. But they took us all 3.
So when you go into Joyous, and I think any gospel singer across the continent, to say I was in Joyous Celebration, it's a degree, right?
Man, PhD.
I mean, right? We should be calling you Dr. Brenda right now. So for you to leave that, I'm sure there was like turmoil for you to go and follow this accounting dream that you thought you had. Who did you have those conversations with? Like, I'm thinking of leaving. Should I do it? Should I not? Should I do both?
I didn't consult anybody.
Oh, wow.
I just told Babumki that let's niyayeka. And when I came back, because I left and went to work and then came back again.
And was the door open for you to come back?
It was always open. Babumki has always been that father for me.
He's amazing.
Yes, you know, he opened that door for me. And I think he saw something as well in me, you know, in music. So I didn't consult anybody. I just went, you know. But also, I knew that gospel wasn't going to be my final destination, you know, because even joining Joyous Celebration, I was not a gospel fan. Like, I was not a...
You didn't know the songs and the
I didn't
hymns.
know the hymn. I didn't know...
Okay.
I still don't know the songs now, you know, because in me, I'm not a gospel singer. I'm an Afro soul jazz singer, you know. I know the other genre. But Joyous Celebration was like a door for me, you know, to get me to where I am right now.
So, I mean, a lot of you from Joyous Celebration, you know, you go into Joyous Celebration and then you sing as an ensemble and you travel and you learn and then you break away and you go solo.
Yes.
How do you approach that? Like, you know, what's the timeline? How do you do it? Do you first go to Babumkize and say, you know, I'm thinking of going solo. This is the sound I want to pursue. Do you want to produce it with me? Do you go outside and talk to other people? Because it can look like a bit of a cult from the outside that, you know, once you're in here, you know? So what is the process in then breaking away from such a powerhouse to then create your own powerhouse?
I think for me, it was different because I didn't want to do gospel after leaving. So I was surrounded by a lot of people. Abo Lira, Lira is my mentor. Abo Judith Puma. I was around those people. So it was natural for me to go to them.
Okay.
You know, for me to talk to them, especially because I knew that I wasn't going to cope as a gospel singer. I knew that I wouldn't cope as a gospel singer. So I knew that my music, this is what I'm hearing in my head. It's ringing. This is what I want to do. You know, I want to sing about life, about love. I want to inspire, you know, with my words, with what I write, you know, with my story. So it has to go broader. So I didn't go to him and said, you know, I'm thinking of doing this and that.
Yeah.
But when I was doing it, when I was launching myself as a solo career, I went and had a show. I remember my first show in 2010.
Yeah.
I went to Baseline, like, I'm going to have a show. Then he came. And then when he left, he said to me, you know, Brenda, if anyone would have asked me or would have told me, because if I didn't come here, that you are like that, I wouldn't have believed. I'm just glad that I came here. You are on the right track, that I knew that I'm on the right track.
Okie dokie. So after the break, Brenda will tell us about her 7-year journey as part of Joyous Celebration. We want to know more about that. And I think we should play some of the music, huh? Stay with us. And welcome back. I have Brenda Mtambo in studio today. Let me reset it for you real quickly. At the age of 19, she auditioned and joined the incredible family and gospel institution that is Joyous Celebration under the helm of the legendary Lindelani Mkhize, who would then go on to sign her. Yeah. Okay, now that entire process of him signing you, right? Is that for you like the validation you needed to be like, I've made the right decisions in my life?
You know, in terms of a career choice and my music, I knew that I've made a right decision. He has already validated that for me. You know, I've already had shows. You know, my journey was different in recording an album.
Yeah.
I recorded, okay, I first had shows before anybody knew who I was. I hosted shows. I called people to come and see what I was doing.
So
as a
how do you
form
make
of
sure that people come to your show?
Because I was from Joyous Celebration, the big following. You know, I think that worked for me, you know. So I was like, it's very hard for me to convince you that I want to sing Afro soul music. Rather come and see what I can do.
Okay.
Rather, that's my demo.
Okay.
I didn't have a demo. I didn't record a demo. I performed live. You know, I'm a live performer, so I called everybody. And after that, I think Mkhize then saw that, you know, Brenda, we can support you as much as we don't support the kind of music that you do in our stable, because we're a gospel stable, but we can fund you, and we know that you can run with it. So that's what happened.
You strike me as the type of person who, when you have to prove yourself, you just say, give me a microphone.
You know what? I don't like to talk a lot about what I do. I want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of a person, I don't talk a lot about what I'm going to do, what I'm doing. I do it. When it comes to singing, singing is my life. I love to sing.
Yeah.
I love to host shows. I love to perform. And I think I do it very well. You know,
Well,
I think I do it very well. So I just pour my heart, you know. I don't prove a point though, but when I do it, you love it.
you know.
Yeah.
And like on stage, do you talk about the song you're about to sing? Because you've got quite a personality, and I mean, we are related, and personality is our thing there in the household. You know? It's our thing.
It's right there.
You know, it's right there. So is this personality coming through on stage as well?
Because my songs are about my life, so I share my life. So I call my shows, like the recent one, I'm calling it Brenda Mtambo Live Experience. So much more live experience, because I'm sharing so much more of myself, my story. I write about my own life, my heartbreaks, you know, my anger, whatever that I've had, like I write about it. So I share a story, and then I sing a song, you know. I think that works for me.
Okay, let's knock into these stories. Just heartbreak. How do you work through heartbreak?
I think you have to go through it. You know, when you're broken, you have to go through it to get out of it. You have to experience it. Cry about it, laugh about it if you have to, but you have to go through it. There's no other way with heartbreak, unfortunately. Me, I tried everything. When I was broken, I was also young. My first love, I was really broken at the time. But you know, man, it gave me hit songs. Like, man, it gave me beautiful.
It's like, look,
look, you can break it again, man, if I'm gonna write such beautiful songs. So, man, everything works out. It works out.
And what has been a mother taught you about yourself? Because I know you're a mom, and it's something you embrace, and it's something you love to talk about as well. So what has it taught you about yourself?
That I'm very patient. I didn't know that I was patient. My son is 2, you know, 2.
My son's also turning 2.
I think they're almost the same age, my son,
We family.
You know, so I think I'm more loving as well. You know, it has taught me that I'm a person that loves, you know, and also that there's fire within me. Being a mom pushed me. So there's fire now. I have fire. Like if you see me a fire, man, I fire in my dreams, in what I want to achieve. You know, being a mom, you know, taught me that there's this child now who solely depends on me. Yeah. That I have to be a better person, not for him, but for myself. You know, but it's gonna inspire him. You know, he has to grow up and look at mom and like, oh, but my mom is a fighter. My mom, against all odds, my mom made it. You know? So it gave me that fire. I have this fire that can, I don't know. Yeah.
What's your song writing process like? Because I mean, things can happen to you, which is great, and you can have a son who, you know, puts the fire in you, which is also great. But that's all in theory, right? That's the theory behind it. In practice, how do you put the song on paper? How does the paper make it to being recorded?
You know, I don't have a formula, you know, one formula. I'll be traveling, going anywhere, wherever I'm going. Then I just hear a melody. And then I sing it. And then I start singing. I always have my recorders, my phone. So I record myself everywhere. I record myself. And then when I have a moment, then I listen to my recordings and then I write. But sometimes there are songs like Tembanjalo that I wrote that people really love. That song came as a song. I started singing a song from the beginning because that's how I was feeling. At the time, I was feeling so hopeless, you know. So and then I started, I said, Tembanjalo, Tembanjalo. Then I started singing, and then that was the song. So my process differs. Like there's no particular process that I say, okay, I wake up and I do this and that.
I eat this, I sit this way. Yeah.
It comes in different forms.
You said something in an interview, and you said the culture of real music is coming back. And, you know, it stayed with me, what you said about that, because when you're on the sidelines and you're waiting to get signed and you're waiting to, you know, to live out your dream, success is defined by what you are doing whilst you're waiting for your turn, right? So when you say the culture of real music is coming back, when you were waiting for the culture of real music and someone like Brenda to come back, what was your demeanor like?
I think something you said right now, that while you wait for your turn,
Yeah.
you know, the real deal is in that waiting.
Yes.
In that waiting, you perfect that gift. In the, you know, when everything is still, nothing is happening, that's where you perfect the gift. You know, in our country, the music is changing, man. Now hip hop is really big. Gospel is really, you know. I'm feeling like the kind of music that I'm doing, and that Tandisa is doing, and that Lyra is doing, and that is classical. It's gonna stay. It's gonna come a point where it's who we celebrate that kind of music, because that's what we are, and that's what represents.
It's the
who
DNA.
We are. It's in us.
Yeah.
When you talk of African music, it's gonna come up on the file that this is who we are.
Yeah.
This is what the world should see.
So when you say that real music is coming back, that's what you are alluding to.
That's what I'm praying for as well. That, you know, we need to embrace all kinds of music, but mostly we need to sell Africa and ourselves and everything that we are into the world, to know that we don't wear mabesho and all. We are fantastic and fabulous, but also we are Africans with our voices, with our message, with our culture. We are sending that to them as we are.
Louder for the people in the back can hear, man. Brenda is without a doubt so much more than just a singer. Her voice is an enchanting, delicious depiction of a musician who exudes the soul of Etta James, encapsulates the spirit of Busi Mhlongo, and oozes the brilliance of Dorothy Masuku. We will be back after this. Production. Okay, welcome back to the final segment of the show this Thursday afternoon right here on SABC3, and that was the song I Love You by our guest Brenda Mtambo from her second album, So Much More. Your tweets are streaming in. I'm going to read them to you. Wow, Brenda, dreams will push you, lady, from at Melshing91. At ChubbyMots94 says, Brenda Mtambo is living proof that God will take you from glory to glory. Real talk, you guys are blessing us today. I think this one will be interesting, and I want to know what you think about it. Nje Reloaded says, first time I saw her, she reminded me of Anita Baker. Do you get that a lot?
I get it all the time.
Who else do people say you remind them of? Well, besides you and me, because we like related. But like music-wise.
It's Anita Baker, it's Oleta Adams, it's Busi Mhlongo, It's Layla Hathaway.
Oh, yes.
It's Liz Wright. So, yeah, quite a lot of artists actually.
I like Liz Wright. She was here. Did you see when she was here?
Yes, yes, yes.
At the Standard Bank?
Yes, I was there. We took a picture and did everything.
Oh,
yes.
okay, one up than me. So speaking of other artists, I always ask musicians this because it kind of lets me into your most vulnerable space. Is there a song in the past year, past 2 years, that another artist has released, and when you listen to it, you hope and wish that you had written it because you're like, but she's singing my song?
I have a song.
Tell me.
It's Amanda Black Amazulu.
Hey.
Amanda Black Amazulu.
Hey.
That song, you know that song? That song.
Yeah.
That song, and she sings it.
Yeah.
She sings it. So it's that song.
It's almost like there's no effort from her side.
No.
She just opens her mouth and it just boom came
It's
out.
there. Yeah. I remember when I first heard it. Before it became big,
Yeah.
it was played, on radio. I was like, this song, I was like, this song, something about this song, and then boom,
It was like
it was like everybody's song.
also nominated at the Summers.
Yes.
So you get nominated in the same category of people that you used to sing backup for.
How amazing is that?
How glorious
How
is
glorious.
that?
You know, when I was nominated, man, I was always asked this question: how do you feel about this nomination? Do you want to get it? I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter whether I get this award or I don't.
Yeah.
Being nominated amongst you, Masigela, amongst Tandiswa, amongst everybody that I've looked up to, that I've been at some point behind them, that is for me like a win. It's a stamp that says approved. It says you are doing something great.
It says carry
with
on.
legends. Like I remember in the best urban jazz at the metros, I was like, ha ha ha. I'm the only one who just started out. Everyone there has been, here over 10 years.
Yeah.
So that was for me very, very big, and I take that, as a big achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So besides your son, who do you want to make proud all the time?
Ugogo.
And is she proud?
She is very proud. She's very proud. I know she's watching. She's very proud. Very proud.
And like she always knew that you would be here.
I don't know, like if anyone is watching now and they saw my tweet before I came to the show, I spoke to my granny. My granny vouched like she wants me to win. She said, I'm praying for you that everything that you touch turns into gold. I was just tweeting about that now before I came here. I just want to make her proud, because of a lot of sacrifices and things that she sacrificed for us. I'm sorry.
No, don't you dare apologize. No, this is your moment. And how glorious is it that she's here to watch it? She
That
can
is a
see
blessing, Anele, that's a blessing. Abazali bethu, especially abazali bethu, if they sacrifice a lot of things for us, must have besibona, besaphila, and for us to be a blessing. My aim and my purpose is to ngenze kahle so that I can just make my granny, even though she's now 87, she's old now. I want her, to when she's resting, to rest in peace. As I just want that.
Because you give them a peace of mind, right?
Peace of
when
mind.
they can see that you are fine, you are okay.
Yes. Mayibona ukuthi yo mntanami Anele mntanami ngiyakubona ukuthi wenzani, ngiyabona umsebenzi wakho, ngiyabona yonke into oyenzayo. Kuyabajabulisa lokho, and kubenza angazi bebe njani. So for me nje ukumbona kokwami smile ejabula because ngenze something nje encane, that for me is like big.
So when you are falling asleep and you are warm and you are drifting into a deep sleep, there's a final thought we always have, and that's the thing you want the most for your life next. What does Brenda want the most for her life next?
To be at a point where you are content, you are peaceful, that brings joy. You know, if you're in that space, I always fight being anxious of the next.
I know that, anxiety.
So, yes, I just want to be a person, you know, who becomes present and here, you know, and in that way, I become the best person that you would love to be around me. You know, I you know, every time when I'm sleeping, I pray for peace. I'm like, Lord, just give me peace. Peace attracts love. Peace attracts success. Peace opens your mind. You know, it gives me a clear perspective of what I can do the following day.
You pray for peace.
Yes.
Well, you'll get it because you bring a lot of us peace through your music.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time. Thank you for
Thank
coming
you.
to Real Talk, and thank you for opening your heart and leaving it here with
Thank
us.
you so much, Anele. Thank you.
Okay, I'm drained. I'm going home. We've come to the end of today's show. Thank you so much to the two musical powerhouses, Lebo Sekgobela as well as Brenda Mtambo, for coming through and letting us into their musical journeys that also brought them closer to their higher power and purpose. Tomorrow, same time, same channel, but with a different guest. Till then, you have yourself a wonderful evening.